Hey guys, it's Mike from Team OCG coming at you tonight with our Lightsworn deck profile. We updated this, actually we update this pretty frequently. It's a pretty fluid deck list, but this is what we're working with right now. Just as a reminder, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Also check out our Instagram and our Facebook page. The links of everything are gonna be down below. And we're just gonna jump right into it, but before we do that, just bear in mind, this is without the Toon Chaos stuff. So we have tested it, and that's the Chaos list that's going around with all the Toon Chaos stuff and Creator and Valkyrie and all that. It's great. It's just not particularly our cup of tea. We're more into the like rank 4 Minerva Sworn engine. Part of us really hopes that Fairy Tail Snow comes back, but in any case, that's just a different deck list. If that's something you guys are interested in seeing our take on, definitely comment below and we will work to put that together for you, but it's just not what this deck list is, so you're not going to see any of those cards. But anyway, I'm just going to jump right into it. So this is actually going to be 48 cards we cut down, but first thing, one Judgment Dragon. It's not the point of the deck anymore, and because you play safer, one essentially gets you up to 3 copies if you use all of them for it, but you have access to it whenever you want it. So one of that. One Chaos Emperor. This card is incredible. I really like this card. If for nothing else, to drop an 8 to make Din Girsu to protect your board, I think is really good. But in the times where you do resolve his effect, it lets you potentially win in main phase 1 through effect damage. It can help you in time, and it can also just out difficult cards. And then on your following turn, you can use Safer to get him back, and then summon him again, and just all of a sudden you have a 3000 beast stick on board. So those two work really well in unison. We do 2 Chaos Dragon Legionnaire. You don't really need the third one. I found it clumped a little bit, but you can get it through Safer. You can also get it with Omni Dragon, so 2 seem to work just fine for us. And then 3 Safer. I think this is the best card in the deck, personally. It just does so much through the mill engine. It lets you get your dragons back. It lets you search for your big dragons. Essentially, you can banish it to add any of the big ones back from the graveyard. So, definite 3 of. Part of the Safer engine, I play Dark Worm. This is new, and then I play Omni Dragon. These are both Dragon Shrine targets, but they work really well together just to search out your big dragons, and then this to establish a rank 4 play, which is working really well for us. The great thing about this card is it just keeps happening, so as long as you exceed with it and it keeps going to the graveyard, like if they clear your board, like he's coming up next turn. So these have been very welcomed additions. 1 Black Dragon, 1 White Dragon, make Omega, make Curious with the light one, get a search. It's really good. Those are our dragons. For Lightsworn, 2 Wolf. Bear in mind this is Jake's build. I think we are gonna potentially test 3 Wolf in the future, but he mills Wolf like it's his job, so I've never felt the need to play more than 2. 2 Raiden. One of the things we tried to do was limit the number of normal summons, just so we didn't brick as frequently. But I still think you need 2 of this. This is your milling in your main phase. So. One thing we did do, 2 Lumina. This has been working really well. And the idea that, like, I don't know if I'd play 3 of it because it doesn't really help you establish a 4. But what it does do is it lets you it turns your Lightsworns into utility cards, essentially. So, like, if I need to get spell and trap removal, I can Lila. If I need to blow up a monster, I can use Felice. And then it also lets you get back Raiden if you want to go into Michael. So those are really good. We still play the 1 Guroth just because if you get this out with Minerva, like, you get 5 cards deep, which, like, you're going to mill something, if not a Safer or one of your cards to go plus. You are definitely going to get some draws out of it. 1 Lila. We cut this down from 2 just again. We didn't want to have too many normal summons in the deck, and you can get it with Charge, and then you can get it back with Lumina. So you can get it whenever you need it. 1 Felice. This is something I potentially want to play 2 of in the future as well. Just the 3 Wolf, 2 Felice engine seems to really turbo out your mills, so it seems pretty good. But right now, you only need 1. You can get it back with Lumina. We still play the 1 Aaron. This card is just really good tech. It just outs a lot of awkward things, and a lot of people will put like big monsters in defense mode now to play around Lightning Storm. So like if you just search Aaron and like run into it, it's great. Really good against Eldritch. If you hit their Golden Lord back to their deck, it's like, oh man, it's really strong. We play one of the Little Minervas, and then we play one of the Twilight Lumina. These two in unison with Lumina can get you a Trish play, which happens a lot more frequently than you would think. And if you Trishula people, like, it's kind of like Exciton Night, like they just never see it coming. So it's super helpful to have access to that. Lumina is also great in the sense that you can have a searchable dark if you need to put a dark in the graveyard. I think it's 12 Lightsworns in total. Next thing, all our support. So we play 3 Goblin Dirg. This is just to make Minerva, turbo out Minerva as quickly as possible. Gets Dead Wolves, gets Dead Felice out of your hand. It also brings out Omni Dragon, so like you can use this to summon Omni Dragon, target itself, and then search into Levianair or Black Dragon or whatever you need for the situation. So I think 3 of that's really good. For our Clown package, we do 2 Juggler, 2 Hat Tricker, and then 1 of Trick Clown. I like the 5. You could potentially play 3 of the Hat Tricker if you wanted to, but I like having lights and good mills off Minerva that plus me cards, so that's been working really well for us. We do still play 1 Honest. This card is more of a tech choice. That being said, it works really well. Like if you have Minerva face up and summon Omni Dragon, you can target Minerva and then search this, and now they can't run over your Minerva, so it kind of puts them in an awkward situation. Necrogardna, we cut this down because we did not want to have too many in our hand. We were bricking a lot with it. That being said, it's still an excellent card. Again, every video I do on Lightsworn, you can chain this. So for everybody that says run the turtle, like I can't chain the turtle, I can chain this, and this is dark. You tend to need darks in the graveyard for Levianair effects more often than you would think. Plus it's searchable on Rhoda if you need to send it to the graveyard. You can send it on Curious and set up the Omega loop. Like having one of this is more than enough, and it just works out really well. Last card is Photon Thrasher. I mean, what do you think, Jake? I really like this card. I think that he kind of conflicts with Darkworm a little bit, but just being able to have multiple special summons so you can establish rank 4s and go into Exciton if you need to answer boards is really, really good. So it's been good. I think it's 34 monsters in total. For our spells, our 3 Charge of the Light Brigade. This is obvious, like this is the engine of the deck. I'm not going to explain that very much. We play 3 Recharge. I know that a lot of the Chaos builds with all the new stuff cut this. In this version, it's great. I mean, there's no downside. You're drawing 2 cards, you're getting your engine going. One thing we did add, Instant Fusion. This card is great. It's basically just a really, really good utility card in this deck. So what you can do is, if you need to answer a board, you go Restrict. And then since he's level 1, you could actually use Hat Tricker and Raiden to go into Trishula, which is awesome. Or you can go into Dark Fire, which not only allows you to make Minerva, make whatever 4 you need, but you can send this off of Safert to get a search if you need to. So Instant Fusion, great addition, really liking that. We still play 1 Reincarnation. This is more of a tech choice as well, but it just lets us fix our bad hands. Sometimes you need to recycle your big cards, and that puts in work. Reborn is obvious, just establish a board. Rhoda, Church of Warriors, Foolish. Not going to explain that. It's probably one of the better cards in the deck. Dragon Shrine, this gets you Darkworm, it gets you Omni Dragon. It can also get you Safert or a big dragon to get back with Safert if you need to, so I've been really liking this edition. This is such a great card to open with. We still play Cyclone because for whatever reason, Konami has yet to ban Mystic Mine. As soon as they ban Mystic Mine, we probably won't main this anymore, but in the meantime, it works pretty well. And then the last card is 1 Shade. I wouldn't play 2 of it. I just think, like, the potential to mill 1 and then have the other one be dead is a little too real. 1 seems to work really well. Just get a 4 on board. So that's the main deck. It is a total of 48 cards. Give you guys the extra deck. So, 2 Minerva. We tried cutting this down to 1, but there's just too many situations where you need 2 of it. Not a whole lot to say about it. Get your mills going. Non-targeting destruction is also always really good. This is probably the MVP a lot of the time. So Tornado Dragon, we've been testing since the start of lockdown, and he's just super good in this deck. You can make 4s like no problem at all. And you can just leave this face up if you're playing something degenerate. Like you can chain this to Mystic Mine and blow it up if they activate it, which is great just to be able to prevent them from locking you out.
It doesn't work against Metaverse though.
Yeah, there is the interaction with Metaverse sucks, but still just having Destruction also against the Altergeist matchup is really strong. This is easier to go into than Phoenix for this deck, so it's great. Exciton Knight, again, for whatever reason, people just don't know this card exists, but this is essentially, like, this has become such a staple in this build that, like, this is essentially your play going second, is to, like, make Minerva, force out a negate, and then hit him with Exciton Knight and just clear their board. But, like, the amount of games that we've won off this card alone is just silly.
We're considering even bumping it to 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, it's just so good. Abyss Dweller, it's a staple, obviously. You need to stop the grave effects. So you got to play one of it. For 3, we just play the 1 Leviair. This works in unison with the Lumina, the Dark Lumina, and the Little Minerva. You can bring back your Banish Safer, like ditch a dragon, get another Surge, make another 4. So it's an extender, but it works really well in this deck. You can also bring back Necrogarda, which is great. And then Dingirsu. This is our 1 rank 8, but what we found in testing was a lot of the time you can be left with like a dead Leviair, and then you can drop either Judgment or Chaos Emperor, and use the Leviair to go into Dingirsu, which then protects your board. Also, the sending to the graveyard is amazing. Outs a lot of awkward stuff. For Synchros, 1 Michael, Banishment. Omega, which is by far like the best Synchro in the deck. Recycle your Safe Birds, recycle your Clowns, recycle your Necrogarda. Amazing. Trishula for the Lumina play. For our links, we play Boral Sword. This deck can use this card, I mean, in degenerate ways. Like, there's so many ways. Like, this and any big dragon is game. We do play Goddess. There is a turn 1 play with Leviair and Curious where you can go into, I think, a 2400 Goddess, which this, you know, like, you just can go off. Your ceiling is so high in a deck like this, really. You can end with this, Dingirsu, Minerva. It's like, good luck getting over it. Curious, obvious. And then the last 2 are instant fusion targets. So, Thousand Eyes and Darkfire. For the side, our locals unfortunately have not opened yet, so our side is all theory right now, but nonetheless I'll show it to you guys. Double DD Crow, Eldritch, grave based decks. It also is nice to have an additional dark that you can just send from your hand to the grave if you need to get off a Leviair effect. 2 Nibiru. This card's great in this deck. Jake has made his business to like try to honest the token, or honest this when they swing over with the token, and just like, it's hilarious if it works. And he's done it too, it's great. We do play a small Kaiju package, so 3, and then 1 of the magic. What's nice about this is searchable dark, and then a searchable light to go Curious if you open the magic card. Just out big cards. That card's going to become even more important into the fall when Red Eyes becomes a thing. We play another Cyclone, just again for Mystic Mind. And then 3 of the Cosmic Cyclone, the better Cyclone in my opinion, also to out any back row decks, hit Mystic Mind, hit Babel, hit any of the Eldritch traps. And then the last thing, we play 3 Breakthrough. That's how this deck answers like degenerate monster effects essentially, is by milling these and using them on your turn just to kind of answer opposing plays. We're testing the new card, I think Titan Osider or Titan Cider or something, which is effectively is very similar, but it drops the monster's attack to 0. It just came out in Eternity Code. It's pretty good too. Just trap cards that are 2-fers, like cards that you can draw or mill, and you know, get any kind of benefit are really good in this deck. So again, that's our updated Lightsworn deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, and check us out for more content coming soon.